is Mr. Adebanjo. I want to strongly welcome you to this video. In this video, we are going to be starting another wonderful topic in mathematics, which is statistics. I'm going to be starting this topic, and this is a request from students who are desperately in need of this video. And this topic is very important in passing examination when it comes to mathematics and mathematics related subjects. So this subtopic is not related to only mathematics. It's not basically affecting mathematics alone. It is related to other mathematics related subjects such as economics, further mathematics, and every areas of endeavor that require the analysis. So now let's base it on mathematics. Now the fact remains that statistics is one of the important topic rather, that you need to pass your examination, whether WAEC, NECO, JAMB, international examinations such as GCSE and so on, A-level and so on. Statistics is very common. It's very common, and it's one of the topic that you will be tested upon, and or you'll be tested on to know whether you understand it. And if you understand statistics, it can accelerate your passing the examination. That is to say that it is a topic that they always set question from when it comes to examination. And name any examination that you can think of, they will surely give question on statistics. And statistics is very wide, and that is the reason why we are going to break this video into series. So we are going to be having a video for each of the subtopic where we are going to be talking about under statistics. So this video is just for the introduction and one of the topic we are going to discuss under statistics. So I want you to subscribe to this channel so that whenever we post information on this topic, you will be informed immediately, so that you can check it. So I must tell you, this topic will help you to pass your examination as very well if you give your heart to it and you understand it. Not only that, is going to help you in the university. When you get to university level as well, you are going to be need this topic also when you want to do your research and project analysis. So you are going to need this topic also to analyze your project, and this is the reason why you need to understand it now as a student or a learner. So in this video, we are going to be talking about bar charts. And before I go to that, in statistics, what the examining body are trying to test students on is just two aspects of statistics. There's you are going to be tested on how to use the statistical tools, and those tools are divided into two parts. There are statistical tools for presenting or showing data, and there are statistical tools for analyzing data. So I'm not going to go into details to talk about what are data and also on, so all sorts of, no, we are not going to delve into that. We're going to start immediately with the statistical tools for showing data or presenting data. And one of those statistical tools for showing data, one of them is bar charts. So we are going to before all talk about all the tools for showing data before we now go to tools for analyzing data. So in this video, we're going to start with one of the tools for showing data or presenting data presentation. So one of the tools that we use to show data in statistics is one of them is bar chart, and that's what we're going to be treating in this video. And what is bar chart, or what do you expect to learn in this video? I'm going to be telling you the definition of bar chart, so that when you see bar chart, you will know bar chart, and also give you some examples when it comes to bar chart as well. So this is a typo, this is not bar, it is bar chart, so correct that. And how to construct bar chart. We are going to demonstrate uh, ways on how to construct a bar chart, and we are going to be solving questions related to bar charts, and also we are going to be solving past WAEC question, NECO question, JAMB question, GCSE, which is for international students. I'm going to be solving questions related to bar chart. So this video is going to really help both international students and the local students in passing their examination. So don't keep this video to yourself alone. It's going to benefit a lot of students who are desperately looking for a resource material like this. Please don't forget to share the video. And before we start discussing bar chart, if you are here to subscribe to our channel, please click subscribe button on the screen right now, so that you will be notified anytime we post information on this channel. And this video is going to be inside a playlist of the playlist is going to be labeled or named statistics. So you're going to be putting all the video involving statistics in that playlist, so that you can see all the video in that playlist. So without wasting much of our time, let's dive into the discussion on bar chart. Alright, bar chart is what we want to discuss as one of the statistical tools for showing data. Like I told you earlier, we're going to be discussing tools for presenting or showing data to for easy interpretation. So one of the tools for showing data in statistics is a bar chart. And what is bar chart? A bar chart is a chart in which rectangular shapes are used to represent the frequency. So we are going to be using bar, which is a rectangular shape, to represent data, and that is where bar chart comes in. And the rectangles have equal width and unequal length. So that is to say, the rectangle that represents the data must have equal width, which is the wideness of the rectangular bars. All of them must have equal width, that is their wideness, but their length, which is their height, now depend on the value of the frequency. So they may not have equal height. Now for the bars, they must not have equal height, but they must all have equal width, which is the wideness of each of the bar. More so, the length depend on the frequency of each class. Like I told you, the height of the bars may not be equal because it depends on the frequency. So if the frequency of one is more than the other one, that means they will not have equal height. Then the distinct bar are separated by a uniform gap all through. So that is to say that in between all the bars, there are gaps, there are spaces between the bars, rectangular bars, and this space must be equal. So the gap between the first two bars must be equal to the gap between the second and the third bar as well. So they must have uniform gap between the bars. And also, students choose. You have to choose. The student has to choose the scale to a reasonable scale for their bar charts. So you will not be given scale to use, very unlike a quadratic graph or trigonometric graph. In bar chart, because you are using graph to draw a bar chart, you will not be given scale to use. So they expect you to choose a suitable or a reasonable scale by yourself as a student. So now, what are the requirements for drawing bar chart? What are the requirements you need to know or to have before you can draw bar chart? So the first thing, we need a graph book before you can draw a bar chart. And also we need a ruler, because you're going to be drawing rectangular bar, so you cannot use your hand to draw the rectangular bar, because you may need to be straightened, and so you need to use a ruler to draw the rectangular bars. And also you need a pencil. You don't use biro to draw graph, you need pencil. You don't use biro or pen to draw graph, you need pencil to do that. Then also you need eraser in case you make a mistake. So these are basically the requirement on things you need to draw bar chart. Now, example of bar chart. This is an example of bar chart. You can see that we have two axes, which is the y-axis and the x-axis, and we have on the y-axis we are having numbers which are representing the scales, and on the x-axis we are having the items that we want to represent on the bar chart. And you can see that we have bars which are rectangular bars, and in between this bar and this bar there's a space. There's a space and there's a space, and all the space are all the gap between these bars are uniform. That is, they are the same thing. And also the width of the bar rectangular bar are the same thing. Those are the things you need to know when it comes to bar charts. So another example is this as well. So this is a bar chart that is drawn on a graph as an example of a bar chart. These are the things you are going to be seeing basically, or constructing basically, in this video. So now for example, this is the information you are going to be representing on a bar chart. This is a past question. This is a WAEC past question for a particular year. So the table shows the frequency distribution of the scores obtained in a test by a group of 50 students. So 250 students are involved in this, and that is the total number of frequency here. If you add these frequencies together, it's going to give us 50. So they want us to present this information on a bar chart. So that means before I can do this, I need a graph, like I told you. So we need to draw this on a graph book. A bar chart is drawn on a graph book. So get your graph book, and let's start the journey together. Now imagine this is the graph book I want to use. So this is my own graph book. I'm going to be drawing this bar chart on this graph book you are seeing on the screen right now. And before I do that, I need to label my axis. So which of the, we are having scores, we are having frequency, which one will be on the y-axis, which one will be on the x-axis? Your frequency will be on the y-axis. Y scores are just like items. They are just like an item which are going to put on the x-axis. Excuse me. So now we are going to put our y-axis representing the frequency. So you take your ruler and your pencil and draw a straight line to represent your y-axis, and that represents the frequency. And on the x-axis as well, I will draw a straight line as well that represents the scores also. Now before we continue, we need to scale our y-axis, which is representing our frequency. So we need to scale it. That is to say, of course, this is a WAEC standard graph, and this is the type of graph that will be given to you when you are writing WAEC or NECO exam. So this is a WAEC standard graph, and we are having 2 centimeters, because between this block and this block, between this block and this block on the y-axis, that is 2 centimeters, and we have 10 broken lines in between that. So from year to year, now that's 2 centimeters. If you want to understand the graph, from year to year is another 2 centimeters. From year to year, 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 also on the x-axis, 2 centimeters. From year to year is 2 centimeters, and that you can verify by taking your ruler and measure from year to year. If you measure with your ruler, it will give you 2 centimeters. So then half of it is 1 centimeters, half of it is 1 centimeters, half is 1 centimeter as well. So this is a WAEC standard graph. Now, like I told you, we need to scale our y-axis based on the value we have here. We are having that the highest number here is 12, and the lowest is 2. Now, based on the block I have here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 blocks on my y-axis. That could be different from your own, because your own graph might have like more than 8 on the y-axis and the x-axis. So I want to use this graph now based on what I have now. So I have 8 blocks. So how many units am I going to use on the 2 centimeters? How many units am I going to use as a scale for 2 centimeters on the 2 centimeters on the y-axis? What do you think I'm going to use? If I use one unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the highest number there will be 8, and we are going to 12. So 1 unit will not be 1 unit. So for 1 unit on the for 2 centimeters will not be perfect. But what if I increase it to 2 units on each 2 centimeters? So if I increase to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, then 12, so that it will go. So that means I will need to use 2 centimeters, 2 units to represent 2 centimeters on the y-axis, 2 units for 2 centimeters on the y-axis. So that will be my scale for for the wires. So I'll be having okay, choose a suitable scale for your wires which represent the frequency. That's what I was explaining before. So that means I'm going to use 2 centimeters for 2 units. So on each 2 centimeters, I'm going to put 2 units there. So I'm going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, then 14, and so on. So this I've now scaled my wires now based on the value of the frequency here. Now the next thing is to draw the triangle. So that's the triangle, sorry, the rectangle, which is going to represent this course. So now to draw the block, or to draw the rectangle also, we need to take into consideration the spaces that we have on the x-axis as well. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 blocks on the x-axis. Now, and I have how many items here? 8 items. So don't forget, if I put my first block on this, what's it called, the first block here, then I need to leave a space, equal space, in between this block and the next block. So if I put a space right the first block here, I leave this space. The next block, I leave this place. The next block, I leave this place. The next block, I leave this place. So that will not contain all my information based on the information I have here. So what do? I can reduce the block. Instead of using the whole 2 centimeters for a block, I can reduce it to 1 centimeters. So I can use half of this block to represent my score. So that means I want to use the half of this block to represent my rectangle. So half of the block to represent my rectangle. So I can decide to start from the origin to draw my first block. That means I will leave the second half of the 2 centimeters. Then the next one I'm going to draw here also, I will leave half, draw next, I will leave half, and so on. But in this case, I don't want to start from the origin, so I will leave half of the block as my first space. Then I will draw the block in the remaining half. So I will draw my rectangle in the remaining half of this 2 centimeters. So I want to leave half of this 2 centimeters, that's 1 centimeter. I will leave it as a space. Then I will now draw the first rectangular bar, which is representing the frequency is 2. So it's going to be from the down here to the frequency of 2. So I'm going to draw a straight line. As you can see, take your ruler and your pencil, draw a straight line from here to 2 centimeters, which is representing the frequency. Then, and I want to hand it here also. So hand it here. So that's representing a 1 centimeter on the x-axis, leaving a space of 1 centimeter also. Then I'll close the rectangular bar at the top, as you can see. So I've drawn the first block, which is representing this score 1. So I will label it 1. I'll put 1 here, as you can see. So this rectangular block is representing the item 1, so, or the score 1, and the frequency is 2. So this space here is 1 centimeter, which I'm going to maintain throughout the whole diagram, or the whole what's it called, representation of the bar chart. So that is for the first rectangular bar. Then the second one, now that I'm going to leave another 1 centimeter as the space now, since I've already done that here. So I will leave another 1 centimeter as a space, because it must have, the bars must have equal space in between them. So I will leave another 1 centimeter as this gap between them. Then I will draw another in the remaining 1 centimeter inside this rectangular block. Also, I will draw my next bar. So and the frequency of that one is 4. So that means it's going to stop around here. So I'm going to draw I will take my ruler and your pencil, draw a straight line at the middle also. So a straight line, then another straight line here, then close it with a rectangular bar. So close the rectangular bar. So this one stands for our score, which is 2. So I will write 2 here. So as you can see, that the space bit here is same thing as the space here as well. So and the width of the rectangular bar, the same thing, so they have the same width. The next thing, I'm going to leave another space here, which is going to be 1 centimeter. I'm going to leave it here. Then I will draw another bar here again, and the frequency is 7. So we're going to stop at this is 6. So the middle between 6 and 8 is the middle is 7. So I'm going to draw a straight line. Take your ruler and a pencil as well. Draw a straight line here. to 7. So 7 is going to stop here. Then draw the second side to represent the rectangular bar, then cross it at the top. So that represents 7, and you should know that 7 will stop at the middle of 6 and 8, and the space here also is maintained. It's the space between the gap between the rectangular bar is the same thing as well. Then also for the next one, the frequency is 12, so that means it's going to stop around here also, and then make sure that the gap is maintained also. I'm going to draw it at the middle also. Look, I did not label it. This one will be 3. Then the next one is, so I will draw a straight line here also with my pencil and ruler. Then here I also draw a straight line, then close at the top. That represents 12, which is the rectangular bar for the score 4. So I'm going to label that to be 4. Then the next one is the frequency is 11. So 11 is between 10 and 12, so that will be the middle here. So we'll draw a straight line here also to 11. Then close the rectangular bar here, then cross it at the top. That represents 5th. And the sixth one, the sixth score is the frequency is 6. That I'm going to stop around here. So I'm going to draw at the middle here. I'm going to draw my rectangular bar, then close it at the top here also to represent 6 as the frequency. Then the next, so I will label it as 6, which is the score. Then the frequency for the next one is 4. That I'm going to stop around here. So, but where am I going to draw it? I'm going to draw it at the middle here to maintain the gap between the bars. So then close the rectangular bar here, then close the top. So that will represent 4 at the as that for. Then that will be labeled 7. Then the last one is the frequency is 4 also. So you're going to be drawn at the middle here also, then close it and the top it. So that represents 8. So this is the bar chart you have to draw for this question given to us, and that is the bar chart they expect you to draw. Now if I do assuming that my graph is a long graph and I have enough space, so instead of me using half of the box for my graph for the block, I can use a whole box to represent a rectangular bar if I have enough space to give me the space in between the bars. So if it's going to contain, if this information is going to go into that, instead of you using half, you can use the full 2 centimeters for each of the bar, maintaining the space in between them to be 2 centimeters also. I hope I'm clear with that. Or if you don't want to use 2 centimeters, okay, that is going to you go to have, so you go to use 2 centimeters as the space in between them if you are using 2 centimeters as the to represent each of the bar. All right, let's see another question. This one is going to be NECO question. This is 2010 question number 5A NECO question, which is very similar to the one we just did. So we have to represent this information, which is about 20 students. So that the total frequency here is going to be 20. We have to represent this information on the bar chart as well. The first thing to do is to draw the graph as well, or get a graph book to draw the bar chart. Then label your axis, y-axis, and the y-axis here will represent the number of students, which is same thing as the frequency. Then the x-axis represent the scores. So the scores are just like an item that you need to put on the bars. So now to label I need to label my my y-axis, which is representing the frequency. I need to scale it, rather I need to scale the y-axis. Now if you look at it critically, can you predict the scale we are going to use for our y-axis based on the value given to us? The highest value here is 6. So I have how many blocks do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 blocks here. So what scale do you think is perfect for the y-axis, knowing that each box here represents 2 centimeters? So 2 centimeters, what am I going to put on 2 centimeters? How many units do you think is better? So 1 unit is good. So 2 centimeters represents 1 unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will help us to occupy these values given to us. So I will have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can also label 7, but it does not change anything. So I've used 2 centimeter for 1 unit on my y-axis. Then on the x-axis also represent our scores, which we don't need to scale. But now for the also I need to determine whether I'm going to use 2 centimeter to represent each of the box, so each of the rectangular bar rather. So I'm going to use 2 centimeter on the x-axis to represent each of the rectangular bar. That depends on the number of items I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. So if I put 1 here, the first bar, I will need to leave this place, and I put the second bar here. 2, leave 3, leave 4, leave 5, leave, then 6 and 7 will not be. I will not be able to draw the graph for the 6 and 7 items. So that means like I will need to maintain I will maintain the half of the 2 centimeter to draw my bar as well, just like we did in the previous question. So that means I'm going to maintain the half of this bar to draw my bars. And don't forget that you need to leave equal space in between the bars. Now the first bar, which is representing 20, the frequency is 5, so I'm going to draw a straight line up to 5 here. Then that will have something like this. You take your ruler, make sure it's a straight line with your ruler and your pencil, draw a straight line. Then I'm going to close the rectangular bar. I'm going to close it here, then cross it at the top. That gives us the rectangular bar for the first one, which is labeled 20, 20. Then that means the space that will leave here will be another 1 centimeter. Then I'm going to draw the next bar on the second 1 centimeter there. So the frequency is 3. That means going to stop around here, Then I'll take my ruler and pencil as well. At the middle here, take and draw your rectangular bar, the first side of it, the second side of it, and close at the tops. So this represents 25 also. Then leave another 1 centimeter as the space in between them. Then draw another rectangular bar, which is the frequency is 1. So that one is going to stop here. So draw it, then draw again and close. So that gives us the rectangular bar, which is representing 30. Then the next one, the frequency is 6. So that will be at the middle here. Draw it up to 6 at the top with your ruler and pencil. Then close it here and close it at the top. That represents the rectangular bar for score 35. So you label it 35. Then for the bar 40, the frequency is 2, which is going to stop around here. So take your ruler and pencil and take it to the 2 and close the bar and close it up. You have the rectangular bar. You can see that we have equal gap in between the bars. Those are the things they want to check. If you are, then they are marking your script. Then the item here is 40, so I will label it 40. Then also the next bar is a 45. The frequency is 1. That means go to stop around here to this place with your ruler and pencil. Close the bar here and close the top also. That will give us the rectangular bar for item 45. Then item 50, which is 2. The frequency is 2. Then draw a straight line to the frequency 2. Close it and close the top. So that's for 50. So this is the bar chart they expect us to present or prepare. They expect the student to prepare for this exam for that particular year. You can see that it's not really difficult. So bar chart is what you ought to have known from your primary school to junior secondary school, then to senior secondary school. So this video is not really is needed by all the students across all the levels. So the next question is we're going to see right now, and this question is from GCSE past question, which is international examination, which is still similar to Nigeria exam as well. So we are told that Matthew is a milkman, someone that milk, and the table below shows the information about how many pints of milk he delivered in one village. So we are having this, which is representing the item that will be on the x-axis, and pint delivered that will represent the frequency on the y-axis. So we have to draw the bar chart to represent this information. Then we are to answer a question here. So let's first of all draw the graph or the bar chart before we now answer the question that is on follows. So now I change my graph again. So this graph is wider and longer than the previous one you have been using. So that I deliberately do that so that you can see that the graph that you are having determines how your graph will look. What they really want to see is if you have there are something they want to see in your your exam or your paper. Those things they want to see is your bar, if they have equal width, and the space in between the gap in between the bars, if they have equal width as well. So that's what they want to check, and what will determine that is the nature of the graph given to you. So now look at this graph now. It's longer than the one we used before, and it's wider rather, sorry. As in this place now we have like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So we have 15 boxes here which is representing 2 centimeters, and the same thing on the y-axis. So this one is going to be a little bit different from the one you have been drawing before, in the sense that let's see what I'm talking about. Now I will draw my y-axis, which is representing the paint delivered. So and the days represent the x-axis as well. So I'll draw my x-axis, which is representing the days. Then also all this need to be labeled quite alright. I didn't say that before. If you don't label it, you lose mark also for that. Then I want you to help me to choose a suitable scale for my y-axis based on the paint delivered. We have the highest number here is 70. So I want you to help me to predict a good scale. Choose a good scale that I'm going to use. I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. I have 13 boxes here. So how many units do you think I'm going to put on each 2 centimeters to fit in this scale, this value given here? If I use 5, it will not be enough. 5 10 15 20 25 30 35 40 45 50 55 60 65, and the highest here is 70. So 5 will not work. But in case of your own graph, 5 may work. If you see if you have another one box more at the top, 5 may work. But in this case, 5 will not work. So what do? I need to increase the scale, the unit rather. I need to increase the unit. So I will use 10 units for 2 centimeters. So I put 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and so on. So if I do that, I put 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, which is the highest one. So if I like, I can put 80, and that is that, and we'll stop like that. So now for the bar now, imagine now we have how many items there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. I have 6 items that I need to put on the bars. So and we have more than 12 spaces for 2 centimeters here. We have more than 12 boxes here. So that means I can maintain 2 centimeters for each of the rectangular bar. So if I leave the first rectangular bar, I'll plot the first. If I leave this space for this I will leave this space if don't want to start from the origin. So I will draw the first rectangular bar here, leave the second one, draw the second bar here, leave this, draw the third, leave this, draw the fourth, leave this, draw the fifth, leave the, draw the sixth. So that means there will be enough space here for me to draw these items one after the other. So I can use 2 centimeters to represent each of the bar instead of using half centimeter you have been using. So instead of using 1 centimeter you have been using in previous questions. So for the first one, I want to draw my bar in the so the frequency is 65. So and I'll draw my bar to this is 60 and 70. So in between 60 and 70 at the middle will be 65. So I'll draw a straight line, then close the straight line, the bar here, then close the top. So you can see now this is rectangle representing the Monday. So the person delivered 65 pint of milk on Monday, so which is representing this bar, or this bar is representing that. So then where am I going to, which space am I going to leave again to draw the next one? Am I going to leave half, or I'm going to leave the full 2 centimeters? So I'm going to leave the full 2 centimeters because that's what we left here. So I'm going to leave the full 2 centimeters here. Then I'm going to draw the next bar here, and the frequency is 40. So I'm going to stop here. So I'm going to put my pencil, my ruler here, and draw a straight line here. Then close the rectangular bar here, and then draw it at the top, so that will represent Tuesday. So label it Tuesday. Then I will leave another 2 centimeters as the space between the bars. Then the next one, the frequency is 60, so that means I'm going to draw a straight line here to 60 here, then close it here, then draw the top here. Then also I will leave another 2 centimeters. Then okay, I need to label this one to be Wednesday. Then draw and leave another 2 centimeters, and the frequency of that one is 45, which is going to be between 40 and 50. That will be the middle. I'm going to draw a straight line here to stop here at the middle, and then draw here and close it. Then that represents Thursday. Then for Friday, I will leave another space here. Excuse me. I'll leave another space here. Then draw another straight line up to 70. So 70, which is around here. Then close it. Then close it at the top as well. That represents there for Friday. Then the last one, which is Saturday, is the frequency is 25. Then what does that mean? I'm going to leave another 2 centimeters here, then draw 25, which is between 20 and 30. So I will draw it a straight line with my ruler and pencil to this point, then draw it also to this point here, then close at the top, and that should be Saturday. So which is representing the milk delivered by the Matthew, so between Monday and Friday and Saturday. So you can see that the gap, the width of the rectangular bar is uniform, that is the same thing, and the gap between the bars are also uniform. So those are the things they want to check in your bar chart before you can get your full mark awarded for that question. Then after drawing the bar chart, we are asked to how many pints of milk did he deliver in total. So which I believe you should know the answer to that. What will be the total milk delivered? These are the milk he delivered from Monday to Saturday. That means you need to add this together to give us the total milk delivered. So that will be 65 plus 40 plus 60 plus 45, 70 plus 25, and then that should give us 305 pints of milk delivered between Monday and Saturday. So that's the solution to that question for GCSE pass question. Now another thing when it comes to bar chart is that you could be asked to draw a bar chart like we have been doing so far in this video, but sometimes you may be given already prepared bar chart that they want you to use that to interpret that bar chart based on the question given to you. So this question is also a past question of GCSE international examination, so which is also similar to Nigeria examination as well. Now they said that the question, the bar you are having here, the bar chart shows information about the average temperature on an island. So this was representing the temperature, and from the January to July, which is representing months. So these bars have been drawn. We are not the one that drew it by ourselves. You can see there is a bar chart. They start their own bar from the origin, which is still good, but the space between the bars are uniform, as you can see, and also the width of the bars are uniform as well. So this is a correct bar chart. So the first question is that we have to use this bar chart to answer this following question A to D. What was the average temperature in March? So this bar is representing March, so they want us to know the average. And also don't forget that we have been told that this chart is talking about average monthly temperature, so also find the average temperature in March. So what do? Look at the height or the frequency for this March, if you can see, but you need to know, you need to be able to interpret this scale very well. 4, 8, 16, 12, 16, and so on. So that means the gap, the difference between the in unit is 4. So that means if you go back to the question they were asked for the first one, we are having 20 here, and the bar is touching the next line before 24. So between 20 and 24 is 4, and that means the middle line between them will be 2. So that means 20 plus 2 will give us 22. For that will be the average temperature for March. So the average temperature for March will be 22 degrees Celsius. So then The next question is that which month had an average temperature of the 26 degrees Celsius? 26 degrees Celsius. So which month have the average of temperature of this? 26. So if you look at it, this is 24, and 26 should be in between 28 and 24 and 28. So which is this line? So trace it to the front. So you can see that there is a bar here which is representing May. So May is a month that have the average temperature of 26 degrees Celsius. Then also, what is happening to the average temperature between January and July? What is happening to the average temperature between January and July? You can see that there's a persistent increase in temperature between January and July. The temperature keep rising, keep rising, keep rising, keep rising. So there's an increase or persistent rise in temperature from January to July. That's the answer to that. D. Between which 2 months was there the greatest rise in temperature? So between which 2 months was there the greatest rise in temperature? So of course you can see between this month and this month, which is between June and July. So between which 2 months was there the greatest rise in temperature? So March and February. I think there's an error here. So there's an error. There's a typographical error. It is between June and July. That is between. Because I misinterpreted the question. Between which 2 months was there the greatest rise in temperature? So it is between June and July, because the highest rise in temperature here is 28, and the one year is 30. So not really 30, like 28 and 29. So that means it is between June and July. Please correct that. It's not between March and February. So there's a typographical error, please. So it is between June and July for that question. So please correct that by yourself. Now also you can see that we are still giving another question to interpret, although they want us to do some, they want us to check something here. They are told that Shannon has drawn a bar chart to show the favorite football teams of the people in our class. Shannon has made some mistakes, of course, and they want us to explain what our mistakes are. So want us to, this is the bar chart that Sharon drew using this information, and there, if you can look at it critically, there is a mistake in the bar chart she has drawn. If you look at it critically, and they want you to pick, say the mistake, or they want you to highlight the mistake that she has made. So I want you to look. I can pause this video for a minute or a moment, and please, I want you to highlight the error she made, so that you will not make the same error. And once you have highlighted it, and you can pause the video back so that you can compare what I got from what you got as well. So the first thing is that let's first check the scale here, if they are consistent. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So that's correct. And let's look at the space between the units. So what's it called, two lines in between the two, so that is consistent as well. There's no mistake there. Now let's look at the space in between the bars, or the gap between the bars. Okay, you can see that between here and here there's a constant what's it called, gap. But when she got here, you can see that this place is wider than this place, and likewise, so she maintained gap between this and this as well. So the same gap, but they're different from here as well. So that means there's no constant gap between the bars. That is one mistake. Another mistake we need to see is that if you look at the width of the bars, they are not constant as well. This seem wider than these remaining three bars here. So these two bars are wider than this, so those are the error that she made in preparing this bar chart. So these are the things they want us to find. So the error is that the space between the bars is not constant throughout. So that's the first error. And also the width of the rectangular bars is not the same. So the width between the bars and all this. So those are the two errors she made. Now that's what you have explained, and now also to draw a correct bar chart for the information. So now that we have been able to see the error that Shannon made in our own bar chart, let's try to correct our mistake by drawing our own bar chart using this same information. So that we are going to do in the next slide. So this is the information Shannon used, and it is a football team: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man U, and these are the frequencies. So get your graph book, so and draw your y-axis, which is representing the frequency, and draw your x-axis, which is representing the football team. So label it, and give a scale, a perfect scale for your y-axis, and the highest number here is 8. So, and I can see that I have more than 8 boxes here, so I can use 1 centimeter, sorry, 2 centimeter to represent 1 unit, 2 centimeter to 1 unit. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on, if you like. Then and that is representing our frequency, and the football team will be here. Make sure, don't forget to include all this into your graph. Then also we can now decide to plot the bar now. So I have how many items? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I use 2 centimeter represent each of the rectangular bar, I will still have enough space. So that means I will leave the first, I don't want to start from the origin, so I will leave the first 2 centimeters for the gap. I will draw the next bar in, I will draw the first bar in the next 2 centimeters. So the frequency is 3, so I'm going to take my ruler and pencil, draw a straight line to this, then close it here, then close it at the top. So this represents Arsenal, which are represented by ARS. If you like, you can write it in full, which is supposed to, is what you are supposed to do. Then I will leave the next 2 centimeters to represent the gap between the bars. Then draw the next bar to represent Chelsea, which is the frequency is 5. So draw a straight line here, then close it here, then close it at the top, which is for frequency of 5. Then that represents Chelsea. Then the next one is Liverpool, which is a frequency of 4. I will leave the next 2 centimeters as the gap between them, then draw it to 4, then close it here, then at the top here also. Sorry, there's a little bit gap at the top, please. It's because I've already drew this, and doing it, you may not be able to see clearly because of the tiny lines we are having here. So nevertheless, I believe you understand what I'm trying to pass across to you here. That will be labeled Liverpool. The next one is Man City. So I will leave another 2 centimeters as the gap between the bars. Then draw a straight line to hit, which is representing the Man City. Then close at the top. Then that will be representing Man City, which I wrote City. Leave another 2 centimeters. Then draw another, because the height, the frequency is also 8. Draw another rectangular bar. Close it at the top. That represents Man U, Manchester United. So this is the correct bar chart that Shannon Auto supposed to draw compared to what she drew. This is our own, and this is our own. Now you can see that our own is the perfect one, in the sense that each of the bars has equal width, and the space between the bars are constant as well. So this is the correct bar chart that Shannon Auto have drawn instead of what she drew. So this is a GCSE past question, which is similar to Nigeria exam as well. Let's see more questions that we can lay our hands on. Garrett has drawn a bar chart to show the colors of cars in a car park. Garrett has made some mistakes. We have to explain what his mistake are, and we have to draw a correct bar chart for the information as well. So now, what if you look at it? This is the information, which is we're having colors, we're having frequency, and this Garrett has used this information to draw the bar chart. So they want us to highlight the mistake Garrett made. If you look at it very well, did he make any mistake? Yes, he made mistakes. Now the first is that, let's check the scale. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So the scale is correct, but let's look at the gap between the scale. So between 0 and we have 0 to 2, we have just one line there, but between 2 and 4 we have two gap, two lines there, so which is not consistent between this and these two, between this and these two two lines, between two lines, two lines, two lines, and two lines. So from the beginning, he made a terrible mistake at the beginning here. He used a zero, and the half of the 2 centimeters he used a label it 2. The next 2 centimeters he put for, so there's a big mistake, a mistake in the scale he used here. That is the first mistake you can see. Then let's look at the bars as well. 14, which is the bar, which is correct. Then there's this equal space between the bar, which is correct. If you look at it, one line in between them, and one line between them, that's correct. And the gap, the width of the bars are the same thing as well. They are constant. That is correct in that case. But let's look at the height of the frequency of the bar. 14, then 9. So look at this one now. The bar, the height of this one is 10, but the for red, but he put 9. So you are supposed to have 9, but you use 10, which is wrong in that note. Then this one also, which is 17, that is correct. Then this is 12, that is correct, and this one is 4. So these are these little error that he made, and he did not label the x-axis with the colors given. So those are the simple error that he made. The scale used on y-axis is not consistent, because year to year is used 2, and we have just one line there, and between all the remaining one we have two lines, so that is not consistent. Then the bars are not labeled with the colors, like I told you. Then I didn't put that here, but I also told you that for this color red, the frequency is 9, but he put 10. So that is wrong. So it's supposed to end here, around here. It's supposed to end around here. So that's another error he made. So you have to draw. You have to draw the bar by ourselves. So I want you to pause this video and draw the bar using this information by yourself. So I leave that one for you to do. So I've helped you to highlight the errors that you made, but I want to pause the video, take your graph book, your pencil and your ruler, try to use this information to draw the graph, and you can snap it and send it to me via my email address or WhatsApp number for correction and help, and to see whether you are right or wrong. Now, the bar chart we have been representing so far, they are called single bar charts, and they are simple bar charts, but we could have composite bar chart as well. What do you mean of composite? When you have two or more bar charts joined together, two or more bar charts joined together. What do I say by what am I saying? Two or more bar joined together, two or more rectangular bar joined together. That is where composite comes in. When you're having two or more rectangular bars joined together, representing some information joined together on a graph, then that is composite bar chart, and it could be in two ways. Let's see. So example is this bar chart. Look at this bar chart. We are having this bar chart. So this is an example of a composite bar chart, in the sense that we can see that we are having more than one rectangular bar on this chart here. A rectangle end here, another one end here, another one. So you're having three rectangles on each of the information here, and you have keys here to tell us which one is which one. So this one represents swimming, this one is representing gym, and then the other one is representing other. So you have three information represented on this bar, and here and this as well. So this is an example of a composite bar chart. Another one is that, yeah, apart from, if you don't want to represent like, you can also represent it like this. So this is another composite bar chart, in the sense that January, you're having two information for January represented by these two bar, and February also you're having two. So this also can be represented like this as well. This one you're having here can also be represented like this. If I want to represent this one, I'm going to be having three bars joined together. So one bar represent this, another bar will represent this, another bar will represent this. So be having three bars joined together if I want to represent this one like this. So three bars for this for Tuesday, and three bars will be for this as well. But instead of doing it this way, we can do it this way. Instead of putting two bars aside, I can put this one on top of this one, put this one on top of this one, put this one on top of it. So these are two ways we can have a composite bar chart as well, which is another type of bar chart that we have. So now let's try to demonstrate how to prepare a composite bar chart. So here we are having that the table shows the number of cat and dog treated yesterday by three veterinaries. So the veterinaries are Ralph, Jemima, and Sebastian. So they treated cat, dog. Those are the two varieties of animal they treated. So Rafi treated 11 cats, 7 dogs. Jemima 9 cats, 8 dogs. Sebastian 3 cats and 16 dogs. So we have to represent this data from the table to draw the composite bar chart. So we have to draw this composite bar chart using this information we are having here. So now I need my graph, which is this. I need to draw my axis, and x axis. So on my y axis, I will need to scale the my y axis, and my x axis will represent the veterinaries. So now to know where you are going to stop or to choose our scale for this, don't forget that for Rafi he treated 11 dog, 11 cats, 7 dogs. So all together will give us 18. And Jemima 9 dog, 18, 8 cats. So 9 cats, 8 dog. Rather, I don't know what I'm saying. Add together that gives us 17. So here the highest is 18. Here is the highest. This plus this gives us 19. So that means the highest frequency here should be 19. So based on the fact we are having here, I can also have another animal joined together here. Maybe what's it called? Maybe goat. So give you the number of goat that also took care of. So that means you'll be having like three bars joined together if you want to do it vertically, and if you want to use bar to represent each of the animal they represented. So I'm going to be having a three rectangular bars joined together for each veterinary. But since we are having two animals there, so if I want to do it vertically, I'm going to be having two rectangular bar to represent cat and dog for Rafi. I'm going to be having two rectangular bar joined together to represent Jamima, and I'm going to be having two rectangular bar to represent Sebastian as well for cat and dogs, and label it correctly. So the highest number here is 19. So I will label my y-axis. I will still use this is veterinary for x-axis, and this y-axis represent the number of dog and cats, which is the frequency. So the highest number here, this plus this give us 19. So the highest number there should give us 19. So if I label it 1, 2, 3 for 1 centimeter for 2 centimeter, 1 unit for 2 centimeter, that will not be enough. So that means I will need to use 2 centimeter for 2 units. So I will have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Then from here now, I can now start with Rafi. So I will use a rectangular bar. I want to do the two animals on the same bar. So for the cat now 11. So and I want to leave the first 2 centimeters to represent the space. So the next 2 centimeters I want to draw my bar there. So 11, I will draw a straight line here to 11, which is the middle of between 10 and 12. Then draw another close it at the top. So that will represent cat for Rafi. So I want to label it cat because I don't want to draw any other thing on it. Then Rafi also treated dogs, 7 of them. So I'm going to draw another bar on top of this now to represent the dog that is treated. Now where am I going to stop? So I stop at 11 before 11 plus 7 will give us 18. So I'm going to stop at 18 here. So I will draw another straight line up here from here to here. So I use blue to represent that so that you can see the difference. So close it there. So this will represent the dog that he treated. So he treated 11 cats and he treated 7 dogs. So these two bars are representing the animal that Rafi treated. I'm going to put Rafi here. So this is the composite bar that for the first information. Then I will leave this space at the middle. Then I'll draw the next information for Jamima. So that one treated 9 cats. So from here to here to 9, draw a straight line to 9, close it here at the top. That represents the cat that Jamima treated, and he treated also 8 dogs. So 8 dogs. The year will stop at 9. 9 plus it will give us 17. So I'll draw another straight line to 17, which is between 16 and 18. Then close it and draw it there. That will represent the dogs that he treated as well. Then that is for Jemima. Then the last one, which is Sebastian, he treated 3 cats. I will leave the next 2 centimeters to maintain the space. Then draw another straight line to 3, which is between 2 and 4. Then close it here. Then draw that will represent the cat. And she treated, or is it, I don't know whether it's he or so Sebastian. I think it's a male name. So he treated the 16 dog. So from here to up here, 16 plus 3 give us 19. So that should be around here. Also draw a straight line. Done. Close it, and that represent a dog for Sebastian. And this is the bar chart, the composite bar chart they want us to draw for this information. So don't forget that this is one way I can represent this information. I can also represent this information another way, drawing the composite shape in a composite way as well, which is what I'm going to be doing next now in this next slide. So I'm going to representing this same information when you're having multiple bars now, multiple bars, which is the same talking about the composite bar. So draw the graph. I'll quickly do the same thing we did. I will label it like we did in the previous slide, same information. So I don't want to put the bar on top of one another now. I want to put multiple bar for Rafi, Jemima, and Sebastian, which each of the bar representing cat and dog. So for the first one, which is for Rafi, 11 cats. So I will draw my bar to 11, then close it. As you can see, that will represent the cat. Then for the dog that I treated, 7. So I will not, instead of putting it at the top, I don't want to do that again now. So I want to do another way, which is drawing another what's it called, another bar, another rectangular bar for 7. So I will draw another rectangular bar up to 7, which is around here, then close it here, and so this one is representing the dog that Rafi treated. So 11 cats, 7 dog. So that play will be representing Rafi. Do you understand that? Now this is another way of representing. Instead of putting this on top of this one, I can also put it beside it. Don't forget that you can see that there is no space between this bar and this bar because they are both representing Rafi. So the next 2 centimeters, I'm going to leave the space, which is same as this. I'm going to leave the space here before I can now do for Jemima. So for Jemima, now I will leave this space, which is 2 centimeters. Now I will write Jemima here, and Jemima. Okay, Jemima. Sorry. 9. It treated the 9 cards. So draw a straight line to 9 around here, then close it here also, and draw that represent card for Jemima. Then the dog is 8, so I will draw another bar, rectangular bar, to represent the cat. So the dog rather. So we should be around here. Draw my straight line up, then close it here. That represents dog. So I'm using different colors so as to help you to see. So your pencil will do the work for you. You don't need to change the colors. You can just label it the way I've labeled it: cat, dog, and everything here represents Jemima or Jemima. So then the last one here is the Sebastian, which is I will leave another 2 centimeters here as the space between them. Then Sebastian treated 3 cats. So draw another straight line to 3, close it here, then draw the bar. Then this, which is representing the dog cat. Then for the dog 16, draw another straight line to 16 up here, then close it, and that will give us the dog. So for Sebastian, so this another way of representing the composite bar chart given to us. So we have demonstrated 2 ways you can represent the bar chart, whether like this, or you can put the second bar at the top here, and so on and so forth as well. So these are the 2 ways we can present composite bar chart. So if I have another another animal like dog, cow now with the information, that means I'll be having another bar with this one, then leave a 2 centimeter space, draw the 3 bar for the second information here, leave another space, dot the 3 bar for this third information, and so on and so forth, which I believe you understand what we are talking about here. So also now we can be given the composite graph to use it to interpret some something on the graph, or they ask us some question on the graph given to us. These are GCSE past question. So the dual bar chart shows the number of goals scored by Mars, Harry, and Jack last season and this season. So Mars, Harry, Jack. So last season is represented by this color, and this season is represented by this second color. So number of goals is what you're having to do. The question said that how many goals did Jack score last season? So last season is represented by this color, and we're talking about Jack. This is the information for Jack. So last season is represented by this. So if you look at this bar, we're talking about last season. So that is 12. So Jack scored 12 goals for last season. So that is 12 for that. That's 1 mark. How many goals has Mars scored this season? So Mars scored how many goals for this season? So this color is representing this season, and if you look at the highest frequency here, that would be 10, 11. So he has scored 11 goals. Then how many less goals has Harry scored this season than last season? So how many less goals has Harry scored this season than last season? So this is Harry here. Last season he scored 15 goals for last season. Then this season he scored 10 goals. So how many goals less did he score? So that will be 15 minus 10. That gives us a 5 goals score less. So that's another question you'll be given to interpret already drawn composite graph. Another question is what you are seeing now. A coach set 2 footballers, Nina and Harry, 4 challenges. The coach draw the following dual bar chart to score the number of points scored by each of the footballer in the challenge. So we have passing, heading, tackling, and shooting. This color is representing Nina, and this color is representing Erin. So we have to use this information to this graph to answer this information. Write down the number of points Erin scored in the passing challenge. This is passing challenge, and this Erin, this is color is representing Erin. So if you look at the frequency, that will be 7. So he scored 7 goals. 7 passing rather. Sorry. Then in which challenge did both footballer score the same number of points? So that is a tackling. This Nina scored 6 here, and Henry also scored 6 here. So they scored the same points. So that will be tackling. Then work out the total number of points scored by Nina and in the challenges. Work out the total number of points scored by Nina in the challenges. So don't forget that this color represents Nina. So they want to also know the total number of scores, points scored by in the challenges. So for Nina in the challenges, in the passing is scored 8, in heading is scored 8, in the tackling 6, and in the shooting score 3. So add everything together, that gives us 25. So Nina's have 25 points in all the challenges. So that's another question from GCSE past question, which is also available in the Nigeria examination as well. Then also we still have more questions on the composite bar chart, giving this question to answer this. So the information this bar chart shows the number of points scored in each quarter during a basket match between Orlando and Atlanta. So keys, this color represent Orlando, and the red will represent Atlanta. So these are quarters, first, second, and third, fourth quarters. In which quarter did both teams score the same number of points? So if you look at it, that means this Orlando scored around 34 points here, and the second Atlanta also scored 34 points. So they have the same point here, which is the second quarter. Then which team won the match and by how many points. So which team won the match and by how many points. So that means you need to know all the points Orlando got in all the quarters added together. Then you need to know the number of points the Atlanta also got added together. Then subtract one from another. That will tell you the point difference between them. So let's do for Orlando. Orlando for the first point 35, second point 34, then the third point second quarter rather we have 29, then for the fourth quarter we have 21. If you add together that gives us 119 points for Atlanta, which is the red. For the first point we have 39, for the third point, then the second quarter we have 34, then for the third quarter we have 20, and for the fourth quarter we have 27. Added together that gives us 120. So that means Atlanta has more points than Orlando, and that means Atlanta won by how many points now? By 1 point. So 120 minus 119 was 1 point. So that is about a bar chart, and these are the basic things that we are to do or to learn on bar chart. And like I will tell you again, what they want to know is that they want to check if you can really present a bar chart or draw the bar chart following all the principle behind it. The space between the bars must be constant, and the width of the bars must also be constant as well. So those are the things they want to check, and sometimes they will give you a graph, a bar chart that they want you to use to answer some information. Mostly in Nigeria exam it will be objective questions, and in international exam it will be like the one we have saw so far, and it could also come from theory question as well, when you have to draw the bar chart and so on and so forth. And I want to believe that you have learned one or two things in this video, and you will find the video useful. And please, before we go, make sure that you share this video with all the students out there. Share it on all the social media platform, the group that you belong to on social media, so as to help students who are desperately in need of this kind of information for their examination preparation. And up next we are going to be discussing pie chart as one of the tools for representing data or showing data in statistics. So don't forget to share this video, like the video.